Dude, so it's getting rough out here on these streets, man. You gotta listen to this shit, dude. I'm sitting in my car, or sitting in my truck the other day, getting ready to take off, and this girl walks up, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's kind of crazy, but she's like, hey, my name's Jessica. What's your name? And I'm like, Alex. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, getting ready to go to the dispensary. And she's like, you should grab some beer and we'll go to my place and hang out. I'm like, I don't think so. And I pull out and I'm calling my buddy on the phone and I'm like, dude, who is this girl? Like, over by your fucking apartment, man. Like, she's trying to get me to go and do her and whatnot. And I'm like, it's fucking crazy. He looks down, he sees her, and she's yelling at me as I'm driving away, and make sure you get ice. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I already had plans with this other girl, right? And so I was going to go get some drinks after I went to the dispensary. So I went and got my drinks, and I pulled back in, and I'm like, man, I can't have her see me take these drinks in. So, like, what do? I leave them in the truck, right? And I go up, and she doesn't even see me. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck? Cool. So a little bit later, I'm getting ready to go out on the balcony and smoke a cigarette. And I see her, and she's like over by my truck. Then she's up by the apartment buildings, and she's like looking, and I have to duck down so she doesn't see me. And she's like trying to actively hunt me out. And I'm like, what the fuck? To my bro, and he's like, dude, this is crazy. And then he's laughing. He's like, oh, you're going to have to go get your drinks. And I'm like, dude, you should go get them for me. And he wouldn't do that. He thought it was funny, right? I'll probably do the same. But so I go down to the damn truck, and I grab drinks, and I hear her yelling off one of the balconies, oh, you did get beer. Oh, you did get beer. And I'm like trying to ignore her. And I go start walking back up towards the apartments, and she comes out, and she's like, you did get beer. And I'm like, oh, I already have plans. And she's like, oh. And then she walks to her door and opens it and like looks at me and is like, come in. And I'm like, I have plans. And I go upstairs, right? And I do my plans. And that's day one. Day two. Ha ha ha. Day two. I'm out there smoking a little weed on the balcony. And she comes out, well, she's like, hey, I didn't know you were in a committed relationship. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I didn't know you were in a committed relationship. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, that girl. Well, she saw me with the girl, and that I had plans with. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been talking to her, whatever, And next thing you know, she's like coming up the stairs, knocking on the door while I'm smoking this joint. And like, I never asked her to come up or nothing. She knocks on the door, and my bro's like, dude, she's knocking on the door. I'm like, I don't want to answer that. She's like, you have to answer it. So I answer it. She just walks in. He's smoking now. She takes it, starts smoking with him. Then she's like, oh, I'd like to stay and watch football. Oh, man. And we're like, what? I was like, you got to ask him, bro. And he's like, huh? Whatever. And she goes downstairs and says she's going to fucking change. Well, we're like talking about like, dude, no, we don't want her up here. She's fucking weird, blah, 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 blah. She comes back like 2 hours later and just walks in the door. And we're both like sitting on our phones on the couch watching football and like, hey, dude, we don't want to hang out. You can't be here. She's like, oh, okay. And she has like beer. And she has like this box of stuff and some weed and whatnot. And she's been like, every time I walk by, I forgot to say, she's been like offering me beer and trying to get me to come into her house, like creepily. And I keep declining it and telling her I don't want to drink, right? And so she goes down. She told us that she's going to be apartment sitting this apartment for 2 weeks because they're on vacation, the neighbors are. And we're just like, oh shit, we have to deal with this shit for 2 weeks? Well, the neighbors come home last night. Oh, wait, yesterday, day 3, haha. She has Christmas lights. She's coming out with Christmas lights as she sees me rolling up. And she's like, you want these lights and this and that? And you want to come in? You want to have a beer? And I'm like, no, I don't want to drink. And I'm good on your lights. I don't need your lights. Thank you. Well, the neighbors come home. And I don't know what's going on. Next thing you know, fucking she's taken off. You know what I mean? The girl that was apartment sitting. And everyone's all upset. Well, today, the neighbors come and are like, are you banging on the door? I'm like, no, I wasn't banging on your door. Like, oh, well, did you see who was? And I was like, yeah, there was this homeless guy that likes to sit out by the fucking dumpster and shit. He was banging on the door because he said he stayed with that girl that was apartment sitting last night. And he left his stuff there. Well, apparently that girl was apartment sitting without being invited to apartment sit. And she was having this homeless guy in there, and they were fucking doing drugs or whatever. And when she took off, she took all the homeless dudes' shit. Like, now they're all fucking being like, oh, we need to call the cops and figure out who these fucking people are because they weren't supposed to be in my fucking house. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Let me know what you think about that story, dude. That's wild, fuck. Nutter and squirrel shit. Hell yeah, leave me a comment down below, like and share. Have a great day.